Hey, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I will be restarting basics of React. I have already done some React lessons earlier, but this is again the basics right from the beginning for beginners in React based on lessons from the ReactJS documentation, the new one, not the legacy one, and I'll be including the link below in the description. So here you'll be learning how to make a simple component, how to make a parent component, how to make a child component, and how to nest the child component inside the parent. That's it, very basic. And then I'll be continuing this series. Okay, so this is important for beginners who want to learn right from the beginning. And if you remember, components are very important in React. So let's get started without wasting much time. Now first I make a component which is a child component using function. So this is function and I name it. The name of this component is message. So this is the way you make a simple component. And this is child component. I'll show you the difference, what it means when you make a parent component. So function and then message, that's the name of the component. And remember, it starts with capital M, yeah, because for component it's always starts with capital. And then the parenthesis message, then the function symbol is the curly braces, then you have to return something. Here you're returning what? The paragraph. And because this is a very basic example, we'll do more complex one later on. And in the P, I'm just writing ipsum lorem message just for the sake of examples. And then we test it out. Obviously in the beginning nothing is going to happen because I haven't done anything yet. Okay, so this is just for test, just to show you how we are doing it from the beginning. And now I finished one function, that is one component, and this is actually a function in the form of function, and it's message, and this will be going to be my child component. Yeah. So next one I want to make, because what the idea is, I want to show some message on the screen, yeah, on my app. So this is the lengthy paragraph message. Now I want to make the parent app component, and I call it like function congratulations, yeah, or function whatever, it can be congratulations or congrats. That's totally up to your creativity, yeah, but that has to start with a capital letter. So I call it like congrats. So that's the name of my main component or the parent component, congrats. And I have to export it from app. So this is export default function. So always the parent component, you need to write it in standard React terminology. You have to write export default. So export default function congrats, and then you have to return something here. Okay, now do not get stuck with difference between export and not export. Just remember the main component or the parent component has to be written in the standard way, export default, and everything cannot be written. The child cannot be returned the same way. There can only be one export default. The rest will be just a function. Now here in the parent component, congrats, I write my main heading h1. Now this is, if you notice, something like a JSX message, right? Because I can write my HTML, yeah, inside this JavaScript. So that's why they call it JSX. So h1 and congratulations. So it's a beautiful way of embedding your HTML messages, yeah. HTML, CSS, whatever you want, you can embed it here inside the JavaScript function itself. So h1 I write congratulations everybody, whatever you want to write, one header, and then I check it out. So that one is showing. Now what is my next step, what I want to do? So here also you have a return. You're returning the header, one heading, and over there in the child you were returning a paragraph. So I want the paragraph also to come into this. So what do I do? How do I nest? So for that I need to nest the child component, which is a message, the message component inside here. within the parent component, which is congrats. So here my parent component is congrats and my child component will be message. So how do you nest it? Now, how do you show it as a component? As I've shown here, write the name of the component with a capital letter as the first letter, starting letter, and then as you see here, this is the way you write the slash, space, slash, and then okay. So here I made a mistake. It's showing an error because I forgot to section it off and I forgot to write the container div, because you have to separate when you're showing the parent and the child, and you need to first create a container. So it can be a section, it can be a div or whatever. So in this case, I'm going to show a container that is div, open and closed div, and inside that I need to nest the child. Yeah, so let's get started. Let's do the correction here. Okay, so I write the open and close div tag. Inside that I need to bring this, the header or the headline or the H1, whatever you call it, the heading line, and the child component message need to be nested inside the div. Yeah, then it won't show the error. Then it will clearly show who the parent is and who the child is. There'll be a clear distinction. So it will show clearly that congrats is the parent component and the message component is its child nested inside the parent congrats. And then you can get to see both the messages. Now this is the most simplest of examples I'm showing, so it might seem very silly if you know too much, but this is not for those who are experts in React. This is for those who are confused in React, who are not so sure on how to do React components, or who may have done the entire React chapters. I've done some React lessons from Free Code Camp. My complete series has been there in my YouTube post lessons. But again, sometimes afterwards you get to forget what you've learned, and maybe you want to learn it again, maybe you want to revise it, maybe you just want to do it all over again from the beginning. It's possible. So it is for those. There you go. So the congratulation heading and then the ipsum lorem, the passage that was there in the child is now come together in this app inside the parent. So this is how you nest the child component inside the parent component. So this was all about that, and I will be going deeper into details. So here I'm just showing the structure of index.js. Now the best part is I'm using Stackblade's online editor, and all the import, export, etc. has been done there for you. But in case